welcome back to another episode of Around the Emirates with just Sarah today. Naima unfortunately couldn't make it, but I'm here with a
You should fire her. You should fire her from the podcast. I
haven't even introduced you yet. I'm here with Sam, who's also known as the Nugget from Radio 1. Welcome, Sam.
Hi. Thanks for the round of applause.
Making you feel comfortable. So, obviously, Sam, you're known as a Radio 1 DJ, or Radio 1 host, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been here for a year?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, a year in Dubai and then a year in Abu Dhabi.
Okay, so tell me about your background and why you got into being a...
Can we talk about firing Naima first?
Can we not talk about
She's
that?
supposed to be here. She's not even here. So I think Naima should get fired from Around the Emirates, the podcast. And it's which would be hilarious, by the way, because she's not even getting paid. So she would be getting fired from an unpaid position on the podcast, which I think would be great.
Responsibilities as a mother and as a wife.
She's not that busy, though. She hits me up all the time.
All right, let's get back to you.
Okay. What was the question?
Wow, you already forgot what I said. So what is your story? How did you get into the radio?
When I was in high school, we had a TV in every classroom, and I did the morning announcements like an anchor.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed doing that, and I think that's how I started kind of wanting to talk to a lot of people at once. And then I thought I was going to go into TV, but I ended up getting an internship in radio when I was in uni, and from there on, I just kept getting all these opportunities in radio, and it didn't make sense for me to do anything else because I was getting all these awesome spots. So I interned for a breakfast show first, a morning show, and from there, I did that for a long time. I worked for free for maybe almost 2 years, I think.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but I also got a job at the station in their promotions department. So I was getting paid from that, and they paid really well. And then the internship part I didn't get paid for. But I learned a lot, and I met some people in the industry. Like, it was good for me to meet the people that I met because they ended up helping me get jobs in the future.
Okay. And if you weren't in radio, what would you have wanted to do?
I think I would have done TV, but I don't know if I would have liked it because TV, it's more formatted. It's a little bit more
control, as you mean.
Buttoned up. Yeah, and it's more, and you are reading off a prompter for at least part of your job. Or you might be reporting where you're not reading off a prompter, but you're talking to the audience. You don't get to have. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's more buttoned up and more professional. And radio isn't like that. I like that you could just wear whatever you want to work, which is nice.
So you don't have to wear a suit and tie?
I would maybe do some sort of marketing or something. That's always intrigued me. But this is all I know how to do. I've been doing it for 10 years. Oh. And so if I did something else, I'd have to start all over.
How old are you again?
33.
Damn, you're like a veteran of the industry.
And I started so young, yeah. So that's how I started.
Okay, I see. And what brought you out here to the UAE?
I applied for a job as a joke, and then they ended up hiring me.
What do you mean you applied for a job how does that work?
I applied to work in Dubai. There was a posting. They wanted an American specifically, so they posted a job in the American marketplace. Okay. And so I responded to it. I had a job that I loved that I wasn't ready to leave at all. I was about to buy a house, all this stuff.
Whoa.
And then I even told my boss, I was like, hey, man, I'm applying for this job in Dubai. And we all had a big laugh. And then I got the job, and I was like, oh no, I have to take this.
Think about this.
So I ended up taking the job because I was like, well, I'll never have the chance to do this again. So, I didn't think I was going to come here at all.
Okay, and then you shifted from Dubai to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, in Dubai, once COVID happened, the whole company left and closed down all the radio stations. So I went back to the U.S., and I was unemployed for maybe 3 or 4 months, and then Radio 1 hired me.
So you went U.S., Dubai, U.S., Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Wow. Did that make you anxious? Were you excited to come back?
Yeah, I was excited. I was excited just to work again because I hadn't worked in what felt like forever.
Right.
And I don't really like not working. I thought that it would be nice. I had some money saved up, luckily, but I was almost out.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I was just so excited to start working again that any job I would have been excited about. But coming back out here, I felt like I didn't finish what I wanted to finish out here. I felt like I still had some unfinished business. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's serious. Unfinished business.
Well, I just never really got to do what I wanted to do and really come up with a show that I thought was completed.
Right.
You know, it takes a long time to kind of figure out how.
Yeah, to get your footing and
Yeah.
kind of do that. No, I understand that. So obviously you're on the Radio 1 Breakfast Show with Naima and Kiara.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it like for you to work with two other women, being the only main guy on your team?
It's fine. I've worked with, let's see, I've had one co-host, Liz, and she was great. She was before I got here. Let me think. Have I ever had, oh, you know what? Yeah, in San Antonio, I had two women that I worked with, a producer and a co-host. And it's fine. I mean, it doesn't really.
It doesn't make any difference.
I'm sure it does, but not in any way that registered to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think, let me think, because I talk just as much trash to women as I do to men.
That's not a good thing.
It is a good thing. It is a good thing because it would be wrong for me to treat the women different because they were women.
Fair. I just thought that you would make like the same like kind of random or like boy jokes to men is kind of what I was talking about. But I guess you
I
guys
mean,
all
what
have
like
chemistry.
what do you mean?
Like
what's
guys
an example?
have their nasty or their whatever jokes amongst them, like locker room talk.
I say
so.
all that stuff.
Okay.
Naima will tell you, Kiara will tell you. I there's nothing that I
filter.
wouldn't. Now I test them out obviously first. Like I will say something that kind of crosses smaller and smaller lines and just see what they're okay with, and then once I figure out what they're not okay with, I obviously wouldn't cross that line. I'm very lucky. Naima and Kiara are cool with me saying just about anything, which is great. It's a great atmosphere to be in.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I find that I don't have to hold back anything with those two or anybody I've worked with, really. Everybody has kind of done a good job at not taking me seriously.
I mean, that's the only way to get to know you, Sam. Just
Yeah.
don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
So my next question is about dealing with COVID. So obviously you're out here on your own. You know, you're a radio presenter. How did you deal with that situation?
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed COVID.
Interesting.
I really enjoyed the lockdown.
How come?
Because it was just great. I just got delivery and ate a lot of food all day. And
But didn't you feel lonely at all? Like no family?
there were days, but there were always people I could call. And I felt like I had some Zoom calls and things like that. And it was just, after a year of living in Dubai and doing this party thing for a year,
Right.
it was really nice to not have to
out.
do that at all.
Right.
And not feel obligated to. I get very overwhelmed when I have plans with a lot of people in the same week. Like
Right.
if
You have a good balance.
if I had it my way, I would have plans with maybe 2 people a week.
Wow.
One day
What's
each.
your current situation
Uh,
on average?
it just depends on my mood. I lately, because I've been in more of a introverted mood, I haven't really hit up anybody to hang out. So anybody who contacts me, I'll make plans with them, but I haven't reached out to anybody.
So that's his way of saying that I kind of imposed myself on coming to his house and recording.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. So you obviously have your own podcast. So Get Your Life Together podcast. So tell me about that and why it started.
Sure. I started because I was unemployed and I wanted to do something. And I thought I was living with my best friend, and I was like, well, we can just talk trash about different topics that come up that are trending. And hopefully talking about what's trending will get people to check us out that weren't really looking for us, that were just looking for stories about the trending topics. So that was good. I did maybe 15 episodes, and then I got a job, luckily. So at Radio 1. So, but the 15 episodes went really well. It was starting to get a lot of traction. I had a lot of paid members. I was making enough to pay my bills, which was nice.
Wow.
I mean, it's not that much. I didn't have rent or a car.
True. Yeah, just to pay.
Yeah. So I had
what
like
you
my
want.
phone. I had a bunch of different subscriptions to things that I was using for the podcast. It covered
Right.
all of that. But it was really gaining momentum. And I think that if I would have stuck with it, I think after a year, I could have made a living off of it.
I see. Okay. And have you had any like super interesting guests on your show that are like notable?
I don't do guests. I just have my one friend because I felt like guests would turn it into an interview when I wanted it to be more of a conversation.
What's the difference?
A conversation is people talking. An interview is what we're doing.
But
You're
an
asking
interview-
me questions. Like
But
I'm
it
not.
turns into a conversation, though, don't you think?
Sometimes it just depends, but sometimes people will just answer the question in a way that doesn't beg more questions.
I see.
So, like if you ask me how I ended up in Dubai and I say, well, I applied as a joke, there would probably be a follow-up question to that. But for some people, it's just when you don't know a person and you have them on it's very easy to, like celebrities. This is a perfect example. I've interviewed celebrities before. They answer your question and then some will engage and some won't. So a lot of times I'll start an interview with a celebrity by saying something about myself.
Yeah.
And then asking them a question.
Okay.
So that if they want to, they can talk about, we can just start kind of going back and forth off of the little thing I said.
Yeah.
And some of them do it and some of them don't. But a lot of times celebrities, when I get to them through the radio station, they're doing a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
So they're really just trying to answer the questions and then get on with their lives.
I see.
So it's different. But yeah, I mean, when you have guests, it's easy to have it turn into an interview.
I see. And to be honest, I've seen your Instagram. I've seen that you've met a bunch of different, famous people. So who are like the top, like 3 most awesome famous people you've met?
Ed Sheeran.
You met Ed Sheeran?
Mm-hmm.
Why? How?
It's a radio station concert. We just got to meet him before the show.
Oh, so is he like a nice guy?
Yeah, he was great. Ed Sheeran was really nice.
Okay.
They're all pretty easy to talk to. I haven't really met anybody besides Tao Cruz that's a jerk.
What? Oh my
Yeah.
God. What happened? Because I'm a fan of his.
Tao Cruz is just not that nice, and he wears his sunglasses inside,
So you can't really
and he doesn't make eye contact, and he doesn't even look in your direction when he talks to you sometimes, which
What?
is
It's
so
like-
weird.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh
like
my
that.
God, such a diva. Okay, cool. And for anybody who's like trying to get into the radio or trying to kind of get into the media sphere, but they feel like they have anxiety with public speaking, what advice would you give them?
I would say don't do it, because if you don't like public speaking, is it just that they're nervous about public speaking?
Yeah, like they're nervous about public speaking. Like they like to record themselves or talk to themselves, talk to the mirror. They want to get out there, but they just don't have that.
Well,
confidence.
talking on the radio feels like you're talking to yourself.
Oh, true, because you don't really see your audience.
Yeah,
right?
so that's easy. Now, if it's TV, it probably feels. I've only done TV a few times, but it probably. I feel like it's a little bit less personal, and you feel the audience more because you're on camera, and you're more self-conscious too because of what you look like.
Right.
Yeah, like.
So radio's easier in that sense because you can't see people, they can't see you, they just hear your voice, and it's
Yeah.
pre-recorded, right?
The radio?
Is some of it pre-recorded or all? Or?
Sometimes, I mean, I guess if we have a phone call and we're worried about them saying swear words, then we might pre-record that. But
Do you like, hey, don't swear? Okay, answer my question.
yeah, have you ever listened to our show?
Of course.
Okay. When you hear us talking, that's live.
So
Did you think that it was pre-recorded when you heard us talking to each other?
no. So the reason I asked that is because say for example, you guys ask a question on the radio, and then if I want to answer the question, I will then send a text, to answer the question. Then you guys call me, but it's like you call me, hey, so I'm about to answer the question on the show. You ready?
That's
Da-da-da.
recorded.
That conversation's recorded.
When we call people, that's typically recorded because we don't know. They might swear. They might say something that we can't air on the radio in the UAE that they
Right.
don't know is even bad.
Right.
Or they might just be really bad at telling stories. And we would have to cut out a
Really bad at-
portion
That's such
of
a-
what they have to say.
How can someone be bad at they speak? Too
So many
long?
people are bad at telling stories. You've never heard somebody that's bad at telling stories?
I mean, what do you
They're
find
everywhere.
as bad at telling stories though? Like, they
People
just
that go
like
on
a ramble?
tangents. There's a million ways to be bad at telling stories.
But how can you edit that though? Like, how can you?
I just take it out and I get to the point.
Punchline of what you're trying to say.
Yeah, the point.
Interesting.
So many people will go on tangents or just give you too many details. That's a really common one. People will give you a lot of details
That are,
in
like,
what they're talking
unnecessary.
about, where they're like, where the story will be about how they had the best pizza, and they'll go, yeah. So it was Thursday, and I was thinking maybe I'll go out or maybe I'll get delivery. And then I thought, and they'll tell you about their inner monologue. And then I thought, maybe I should just cook food. But then I thought, no, that's not a good idea. I don't feel like cooking food. So then I went on a delivery app, and I was like, should I use Deliveroo or Talabat?
Oh my God, they get into that many details.
Things like that, yeah. And then they'll go, and I thought, all right, I'll get a pizza. And I decided to order the pizza and they'll tell you about their whole process of ordering and how long it took to get there before they get to, yeah, I had this pizza place and it was really good. And that was the point of the story. And they only needed one sentence. So I'll take out all that and just have it be the one sentence.
Okay.
Sometimes. I mean, it's not everybody, but it's a lot of people think that these details are important because they'll tell stories the way books tell stories.
I see.
Which with books, it is important to give
it's a beginning, middle, and an end. Whereas
a lot of details sometimes, so that you can picture what's going on.
So here's the question. I've been on the radio a couple of times, obviously. You've called me. Have I ever been bad at telling stories?
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
When? Oh my God.
I don't remember exactly, but I remember I had to edit you a little bit, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. All right. So you just got to get to the point faster.
But not terrible. I don't remember having to edit you a lot. I just remember I think you went on one tangent that didn't matter at all to the story, and I had to cut that out because it took it took 20 seconds. It took away 20 seconds, but that 20 seconds on the radio is...
It's a long time.
It's just longer than it sounds, I guess. But do you feel like you're good at telling stories?
I mean, I thought I was, but my confidence has just been shattered by you.
When you're telling stories, does everybody does everybody stop talking and they look at you?
I mean, it's never that serious of a story. Unless it's like a friend that's one-on-one, but no, fair enough. Sometimes in presentations, people can check their phones or whatever. So fair enough.
No, but even if people are going to check their phones no matter what, that doesn't mean you're bad at telling stories. I don't think you're bad at telling stories.
Oh, now you don't after you just admitted it for the radio?
One tangent is not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I do this for a living and I go on tangents.
Okay.
Yeah, one tangent isn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, you probably do it all the fucking time.
Yeah, you asked if I had to edit you and I did.
Okay, have you ever have you had to be trained in any way when you tell when you speak on certain topics?
Through experience, but I've never had any formal training.
Has this never been part of your job? So you have to take a training of how to speak on the radio or anything?
No, you just learn through doing it, and then what you do is you make audio CVs and you submit those to people. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a bunch of clips of you talking.
Okay.
And then, so I've done those before and sent them to mentors, and they'll tell me.
Right, they'll let you know what's going on. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my final question about the radio topic is: what is your favorite thing about working in the radio, and the thing you hate the most?
I really like how I get to kind of connect with people.
Like you're doing now.
Yeah, but I mean, there's people that will listen, and that might be they work in an office, and that might be the only human interaction they feel like they get all day, which is nice. And then my least favorite thing with what I'm doing now is the breakfast show. I wake up, my alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning.
What?
No, and it's not my favorite thing in the world.
All of you?
Yeah, I mean, roughly around that time, yeah.
That is.
And I get ready very quick.
Well, how long does it take to get ready?
7 minutes. I timed it. I've got it down to exactly 7 minutes. I get up, put on a t-shirt, I put on my jeans.
Oh, so you don't shower before
work? I shower the night before.
So you wake up dirty?
Do I?
I don't know. I'm just fucking with you.
Nobody's ever commented on it, but I brush my teeth.
Okay, good. We have that hygiene.
I drink some water, and then I'm out.
You don't pack lunch or anything?
No, because I get off work at 11. So I'll have some coffee.
What a life. That raises a good point. Would you rather wake up at the ungodly hour of 4:30 a.m. to get to work and finish by 11 and have your whole day ahead of you, or would you rather have a 9-to-5 job?
A 9 to 5.
Really?
Because the problem is now, if I fall asleep, if I can't sleep until midnight, it will ruin my day.
Yeah.
Because that's 4 hours of sleep, 4.5 hours of sleep. If you have a 9-to-5 job and you fall asleep at midnight, you still can get 7 hours, 8 hours even, and feel pretty good. And some nights I just can't fall asleep. I have a really hard time sleeping.
And then
some
you're
nights.
Like a zombie for the rest of the day.
One day a week, I probably can't sleep as well as I'd like to, and then it kind of messes up. So I always hope that it happens, because it's consistently every week, at least one day. Even if I try to sleep at the same time every night, one day I won't be able to sleep, and I just hope that it's a Wednesday. That way I can get back to normal on Thursday.
So you work Sunday to Thursday? Mm-hmm. No weekends, nothing?
No.
Okay, cool.
You have a 9-to-5 job. How do you feel about your schedule?
I mean, to be honest, I think that I have to really take advantage of my evenings. The problem with my type of job is that you can get so tired during the day that you just have no energy to do anything in the evenings, which is why the reason I'm even doing this podcast is, it's on a weekend, right? So I dedicate Friday or Saturdays to making the episodes and editing, but if I could wake up early and finish it earlier, I would do that. Not to the point of 4:30 a.m., mind you.
Yeah.
But I would definitely love to wake
I
up
think
early.
7. I wish my job started at 7.
Fair.
I
yeah.
think that would be perfect. 7 or 8 would be great. Even 9 would be, I think all that would be fine. It's weird seeing all these jobs that the job is like 8 to 7 or 8 to 6. And I'm just like, when did we start that? It's 9 to 5 is the standard, but then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it just happened overnight, and these companies act like it's always been that way.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's just like 8 to 6 with no lunch break or a 15-minute lunch
Right,
break,
yeah.
which that blows my mind. And I'm like, how much productivity do you think you're going to get out of your employees with 8 to 6?
Not a lot. Wait, so what time do you sleep usually?
9?
Okay. And then do you have like lunch breaks at work, or how does it work?
No, because we're just doing the show. So I get to work at 5-ish. Show starts at 6, ends at 10. And then from 10 to 11, I just do post-show stuff, little responsibilities that I have. There might be a meeting. So if that happens, I might stay until noon. I just have coffee all morning, and that gets me through the morning.
So
I'm
you
not
don't do
hungry.
breakfast? You don't do breakfast?
No, I'll have maybe a protein shake at work. I have protein powder at work, and if I get hungry, I'll have that. But
Otherwise,
normally
you're good.
the show's so busy that you don't even have time to eat.
Right. Okay.
But it's nice getting off that early. I just wish I didn't have to wake up as early.
Okay. So I guess that's the thing that you dislike about work the most is.
Yeah, that's the only thing really.
Otherwise, there's nothing else that you would do to change your job or anything that comes with it.
I would give myself a raise. I think
You can hear this. Take notes.
I would give myself double the money. No, well,
Double. Damn.
maybe
Think you're in such
100
high
times
demand.
the money. Because it's not. This
You're
is a
having
fantasy, right? So
Maybe
I
in
can
10 years.
yeah. I want to be a
Okay.
millionaire.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show.
Is
I
that
really
it?
Appreciate that is it.
Okay.
That is it. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask Sam or any kind of ideas for next guests you want to have on the show, leave a comment below. Download, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And thank you very much.
Are you what's gonna happen to Naima? Are you
Naima's.
gonna keep her on the show?
She's hopefully gonna be on the next episode. She just had some stuff to do.
If she bails on the next episode, can we make a pact that you'll fire her from the unpaid podcast?
I will fire her just for you.
All right, cool.
Just for you.
Naima, you got to show up to the next show.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.